Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UTD's Big Idea Competition Finale. We're going to start off the evening with a welcome address by Dean Hassan Pirkul. Dean Hassan Pirkul is the esteemed Dean of the Naveen Jindal School of Management at the University of Texas at Dallas. With a distinguished career in academia and business, Dean Pirkul has been instrumental in shaping the school's vision and driving its growth. Under his leadership, the Jindal School has achieved national recognition for its innovative programs, research excellence, and commitment to student success. Dean Pirkul's dedication to fostering a collaborative and dynamic learning environment continues to be the awe of many. Please welcome Dean Hassan Pirkul.
You know, every time they do this, I get embarrassed. It's an honor to be the dean of the Jindal School, and I have been doing it for the last 30 years. So one would think that I would get used to it. I never do. You know, it's great to be here to welcome everybody and to participate in this event and to celebrate our programs in our institute. But the beginning part always takes me a little. I say, why do you do that? But anyway, I am Hassan Pirkul, as they said, and I'm happy to be with you here. I want to welcome all of you to our university. And, you know, this big idea competition is, I believe, in its 17th year. Somebody said it's 15. You know, I've been here 30 years, so I am the authority, and I declare it to be in its 17th year. The institute is older than that. It took us a few years to get to organize the competition, but the institute is over 20 years old. You know, my colleague and friend Joe Picken joined us many years back, even more than 20 years, from SMU. He was teaching at SMU, and he says, you know, Dean, I don't know if UTD really has the students. And I laughed. I said, okay, you'll just have to come and see. So we hired them as kind of a reluctant teacher for us. And, you know, a few years later, I watched him. He was a consultant, and I watched him transform from this person that comes in and does teaching to somebody really committed himself to make a difference. And this is his legacy. He created our entrepreneurship programs and this institute. So every year when I say welcome, I remember Joe. Joe is still with us, but not here today. He spends most of his time golfing. He might be golfing now. And after long years of hard work, I think he deserves it. So it is great to see the event that has again taken many applications, over 125, I am told. And we have a great line of finalists that are ready to be judged. And the event continues to be very successful. So that makes, that's really near and dear to my heart. Entrepreneurship is such an important innovation and entrepreneurship is such an important part of our modern university ecosystem. It may be even, forget the modern university ecosystem. We may not have called it entrepreneurship, but universities have always created ideas, they created companies, they created businesses, always. And we have, in the last 20, 30 years, we have formalized it, and so now many universities have institutes and programs that deal with this. But if you look at today, our country, many of the jobs are small businesses, newly formed businesses. If we don't have creation of new companies, we will have real problems. So every big company starts as a startup and a small company. Some of them stay small, some of them get gigantic, others disappear. But this is the process that makes us successful, and it is the entrepreneurial spirit that distinguishes us from anywhere else. If you stop and think about the corporations and where they are headquartered, or where did they come out, not headquartered necessarily, but where they were created, you look at us, the United States always in the lead. Innovation mostly comes out of our country, and this is a testament to our universities. Whether people acknowledge it or not, the universities have done a tremendous job for us as a country. You know, the engineering schools, sciences, every school contributes to ideas. Our business school students contribute ideas as well. And it is the combination of those technologies and innovations together with process innovation that comes from business students that lead to the new companies. So in this competition, there were students that applied from every school in the university, and that's great. We really were happy to see that every school was represented, and that's again a testament to UT Dallas and the creative students we have at UT Dallas. So I did not mean to give you a long-winded speech, but I just wanted to welcome all of you again to the competition. Those of you who are families, who are maybe the first time in our campus, welcome to our campus. And without further ado, I will call my colleagues to start the program. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dean Prakul, and thank you for your support for the program and for the school. My name is Carol. First of all, welcome. Welcome to the Big Idea Competition. My name is Carol Marcus Rettmeyer. I'm the Executive Director for the Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I'm also a professor here at the Jindal School of Management. And it's truly my pleasure to have you here and have you join us for this really exciting event that is hosted by the Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This year marks the largest application we've ever had for the university. We had over 125 applications, and we encourage you, if you're inspired today, be an applicant next year. There's so many opportunities even beyond just the funds that we provide. We have 21 of those 125 made it to the semifinals, and from the semifinals, 5 are going to present to you today. We have from the student track, and we have from alumni tracks. So even if you become alumnus or are alumnus, you're welcome to come back and pitch. How cool is that? Tonight, we will be giving out a total of $62,500 in prize money. We have first, second, and third prizes. First prize is $12,000 going down, and we have several specialty awards that will be given as well. So it is with our heartfelt gratitude that you are here, that all the participants who have worked really hard, I've been working with them very closely and mentoring them as well, are here to participate. I also thank our very esteemed judges, our executives who could be anywhere and they're willing to be participants and help us. Many have come over many years, so thank you to all of you who will be soon coming out. Thank you to Hannah Davis, our MC, and to our entire team and staff who worked tirelessly to put this very seamless looking program together. So thank you to all of you. Enjoy the program, and I hope you'll participate soon. And let me introduce Hannah.
Thank you, Carol. Hi, everybody. How is everyone this evening? Thank you. Yeah, let's make this a conversation. That's the whole idea this evening. So like Carol said, my name is Hannah Davis. I'm a television host and journalist and marketing executive based here in DFW. This is my 4th year being a part of this event, and it is one of my favorite events I do every year for one simple reason. And that reason is actually why I left the news industry. This is a question I usually get a universal answer to. So I want you to be honest. I am a member of the media, but raise your hand if you've ever said to yourself, I don't want to watch TV or I don't want to open up my phone because the news is so negative. Raise your hand. Be honest. Okay. That's why I left news. I don't think we should ignore problems. I think we should identify them. And then we should create solutions. And to me, that's the definition of an entrepreneur. Those are the people that are going to be presenting their ideas today. They saw problems in the world, and they didn't just tweet about it, they didn't just complain. They said, what can I do? And then they created that solution. We're also going to be hearing from some individuals that have created brilliant careers, that have had careers that we all dream of. They're donating, dedicating their time and their wisdom to all of us tonight. So I'm going to be asking some questions. I feel so honored to do that. But I might call on you all in the audience during our fireside chat if we have a couple extra minutes to ask your questions. So without further ado, let's get to these esteemed individuals. First, I'd like to present and introduce Doug Moore. He's the founding partner, CEO of TurboStart USA. He's the former head of America's president and CEO of Fujitsu. Doug, come on out. Next is Ruchika Nagrath. She is a CEO and founder of Requis, and she has a lot she wants to share with you today. Please come on out. And she has also attended this event before. You're welcome. Next is Jeff Williams, the managing partner of Interlock Partners. Jeff, please join our group. So for the next 15 minutes, I get to be nosy. I'm still a reporter. I'm going to ask the questions, and then I'm going to open up to you all. But the intent of this is to talk about how to take ideas and bring them into the world. So I want to start with this. This is a big idea competition. It's a pitch competition. So I'm going to ask you to pitch yourself to our audience in 30 seconds or less, who you are and what you bring to the table.
Hi, everyone.
Oh. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Hi, everyone. I'm Ruchika Nagrath. I graduated from UTD. I did my executive MBA in 2017. And I'm excited to be here. What I bring to the table, I think I bring the passion to the table. I have single-handedly created an organization. We have 110 locations. We started right before COVID, and we grew pretty fast in 3 years. So my skill is negotiations. My skill is creating something and scaling it, and that's what I bring to the table.
Thank you very much. Doug Moore, you're next.
Sure. Can you hear me? My name is Doug Moore, and I retired from a big corporation about a year and a half ago. I pivoted after that, and I'm working in venture capital. I view myself as a culture purist and a change agent. And I believe change is one of the most critical things for any organization, young or old. So that's kind of my passion, are driving those things. I've led teams of 3, 4, 5,000 people, built business and budgets over $1.5, $2 billion in revenue. And I've gone through ups and downs. I was in Richardson during the telecom bubble bust and worked to grow the business I was in at that time from less than $1 billion to $2.5 billion, and then watched it decline again into the low hundreds of millions. So we've had a lot of trial by fire, and that's kind of shaped my feelings.
Thank you. Jeff, how about you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff Williams. I guess you define me as a career venture capitalist. I've been doing that for about 25 years. I'm on my 7th fund together, cumulatively. The current fund is Interlock Partners. We're early stage, so we see a lot of Series A, first money in type situations, a lot of B2B SaaS companies we invested. We don't do biotech, healthcare, anything like that. We just strictly stick with B2B SaaS companies. And so excited to be here. I, too, am a UTD grad, 1987, so I'm going to age myself, when this campus was 1/10 of the size it is right now. So proud to be here.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for our fireside chat. Jeff, I want to start with you. As a venture capitalist, you get pitched ideas left and right. By definition, you listen to these ideas and you decide what to invest in. At a very high level, what's the secret to getting your attention? What excites you about a presentation or a pitch or an idea?
Yeah, well, first of all, one of the first questions we ask everybody that comes in and pitches us is, what's the genesis for the idea? Why are you willing to risk everything, lifestyle, expense accounts, savings accounts, to go do what you want to go do? And so we spend a great deal of time with the entrepreneur on why this problem and why you and your team. So that's sort of step one. And then step two is really, are you solving a real problem? We see a lot of, sort of Me Too pitches, if you will, that's not really solving a demonstrable problem. That sounds very fundamental, but we really look for that, and it's going to be hard. That's why startups fail. But if you don't take those types of chances, you can't change the world.
I love that. And, that's one of the conversations we were having in the beginning, is that, to me, the definition of an entrepreneur is somebody that sees a problem and says, I'm going to create a life out of building a solution and putting that out into the world. Doug, we were talking about this backstage. We have individuals that have an idea that could grow into the next Apple, into the next major company that's out there. But for you, it's all about culture. How do you go from an idea, somebody that may be an expert in a field, to creating culture, to leading people, to growing people? Because these can be different skill sets.
Thanks. Having a great idea by itself won't make you successful. And to quote Jeff, you also have to be able to build a business. I think to build a business that can operate as efficiently and as agilely, bringing solutions to the market quickly, people have to have a good chemistry. They have to get along. And that means you have to work together with people that you share values with, that you trust, that you enjoy. One of the best pieces of advice I received early in my career is, if you work for somebody you don't like, find another job. If you have somebody who works for you that you don't like, find them another job. So it's really, really fundamental. And culture's deeper than just liking people, but that trust and those values and the things that really matter to making the business successful have to be driven intentionally. That doesn't solve all your problems. It solves part of your problems. And the other piece, given that most of the people in this pitch competition are still rather young in their career, having good advisors to surround yourself with is really crucial.
Ruchika, I'm actually going to steal a question from Jeff. When we talk about Requis, what was your beginning why? What was the thing that made you say, I'm going to sacrifice sleep, I'm going to sacrifice certainty, and I'm going to go all in?
So when we started Requis, it was me and my husband. We both left our jobs abruptly. One fine day, late 2019, right before COVID. The why was to build something that outlives us, to make something that our kids can be proud of, our families can be proud of. And eventually I have found why in the company I've created. We have 110 hair salons now. And the community I work with on a day-to-day basis, these are cosmetologists, and 90% of the cosmetologists in US are women. And unfortunately, a big portion of them are single moms. So seeing them grow, seeing them raise their families, raise their kids, and succeed day after day, and how they make a living out of this business, and how they make connections with the clients, has given me another why that I am so in love with what I'm doing now.
Do you have any advice to our presenters, but also anybody in the audience that they have an idea? Do you ever return to your why on the days when they're the tough days? And how do you do that, and how does that propel you?
Absolutely. I think I can write a book on this if given a chance. The failures and setbacks are part of an entrepreneur real journey, and I've had a big share. We started, as I said, our business right before COVID. We didn't know what we were getting into. We had left our corporate careers. I used to work for Lennox around the corner. I worked with them for 15 years. I was in a senior role, and then leaving this abruptly, starting with hair locations. We just had 4. We knew we had to scale it to make a living out of it. So we had put a goal for ourselves, and through that, there's a long story, but I'll cut it short. But 2 years into it, once we were buying and acquiring hair salons, we really thought during COVID, we could stay afloat. We could put processes to simplify the whole how our hair salons run. We offloaded a lot of the stuff that stylists were doing to India. We had put a lot of back office process in place, and we thought, we nailed it. We had really cracked the code, and this is how it's done. And we were, on cloud 9, and that's what, my favorite failure happened. I call it a favorite failure. I've given it a name. It's called Tennessee Tragedy. So we had, I would think, 50, 60 hair locations hair salons by year 2. And until, we bought the Tennessee locations, we didn't know what failure meant. So, since we were so overconfident of now have done this for 2 years, we saw this happening, and all of a sudden, we bought this deal, great locations, paid a hefty price, and the first day the rendition had to happen. The transition had to happen from the last owners to us. Our team flew to Tennessee, and we saw 3 of our locations. There was an orientation meeting our team had put together. And so the day 1, 3 of our locations saw the entire staff quit. They didn't align with apparently they didn't align with the culture. They didn't align with the methodology. They didn't think they could trust us. So I still remember that call that night. When the president of our company called us and said, this has happened, and we had paid a very good price for the locations, and all of a sudden the 3 locations had no staff in it. And these 3 locations were inside Walmart. And so far, every rendition we had done was so successful, I didn't even know how to handle this one. So I said, we'll have to do something. So I had my vice president and, the district leader. We all flew into Tennessee the next day. We tried calling the staff back in, they wouldn't pick us our phone calls, and long story short, it took me 3 months to get things back. We had to restaff, redevelop, remodel, literally put everything. So it felt like now starting a location from scratch. So that, I would say, things happen, and sometimes those failures will teach you more, and I don't think I'd understood hair industry till that failure happened, and it was a blessing in disguise it did, because I wouldn't have learned it all till that happened.
So those 3 months weren't fun, but they were enlightening. Jeff, you kind of mentioned this when you speak to the individuals that are pitching to you, that you may be investing with, about the challenges that they'll face. We just heard about a challenge. What's your advice to the dreamers, the entrepreneurs, the builders out there on how should they define failure or those challenges or those downtimes?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to obviously have downtimes or bad times when you're in a startup world. There's a lot of challenges. For some of us who've been doing this a long time, and there are some people in this room who've did it a long time. I think venture capitalists are part-time psychologists, because you spend most of your time with problems, and sometimes that's not a bad thing, but you have to have a certain mindset to be able to deal with that. Or it's very easy to go home and say, I just can't do this. I'm going to go do something totally different in my life. But from an entrepreneur's perspective, I've always thought fear was a great motivator, to get up every day and know that you've got to succeed. You're going to do things wrong. To Doug's point, surround yourself with smart people, number one, and good advisors, board of directors, people you can go to and trust for good, solid advice, and then execute to the best of your ability.
Doug, you talked about growing businesses, watching them also shrink at the same time. When you see that bottom line go down, 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 yes, fear can be a motivator. It can also be paralyzing for some people. When you went through your most challenging times, how did you navigate it in the best way you could for both yourself and your business?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult question, but I will say, first and foremost, you have to be in tune to the feedback from people that you're getting around you, as well as sure of your conviction. When we went through the bubble burst, every 90 days we rebudgeted. And every 90 days we thought we were at the bottom, and we weren't. And that's a real challenging thing. On the other side of it, I've been in situations, and I'll give you an example. On September 11th, 2001, I was in Washington, D.C. I was on day one of a new job caring for our clients on the East Coast when the Twin Towers were attacked. And I spent that first day just finding my people, because we had many, many people in Lower Manhattan, and they were scattered here and yon. That evening, I set up a war room, and I called the CEO of our business, and I basically said, I'm going to need a lot of help, and by tomorrow morning, I'm going to give you a list of things that I need, and I need you to do this for me. And there are not going to be any orders. There's not going to be a contract, but I need you to send me about $20 million worth of technology, and everybody we have within a 150-mile radius, and it's going to have to be on a pinky swear. And I had people around me going, no way this is ever going to happen, right? We have corporate process, blah, blah, blah.
And this was day one of your job.
And I basically said to the CEO, hold me accountable. We will be made whole through this, but we must do that. And they did. We chartered moving vans because you couldn't fly anything at that time. We shipped that gear up to New York. I had all these people come in, and we worked on the restoration in Lower Manhattan because all the comms networks ran underneath the Twin Towers. That's why Wall Street shut down. That's why there was no stock market that week. It's also why it was back up and running the following week. And my client made us whole for everything, but it was a handshake that had to happen. And I think they were grateful, but for us, it also showed our character. And the point was, I stuck to my guns. I said, we have to do this. And they finally got it.
You know, there's one thing, and raise your hand if you guys heard this as well. He was talking about working within a company, and we're talking about entrepreneurship here. But when Doug said, this is the call we need to make and make me accountable, that's conducting yourself like an entrepreneur. Would you agree? You can move like an entrepreneur of your own life within a company. It doesn't have to be a startup. It can be, and you can grow that. But you can also build those skills when you're within a company. Now, I promised I would let somebody in the audience ask a question. I've gone over time. I'm going to honor that promise. So we're going to do one question. Who's got one? This is your opportunity, guys. Do we see one? Right here. Stand up, please.
Hello. First of all, my name is Nathan Bukasis. I am an undergraduate here studying finance in the School of Management. And I just had a quick question for the panel. If I could take you back to your university days when you were studying, it's more of a general question, but what is one thing you would do differently that you wish you would have done back then, and in hindsight, that you wish you acted upon it sooner?
Excellent question. Let's start right here, and we're going to keep our answers to about 20 seconds.
All right, so I'll take that. I think because I do have regrets of I could have done things differently. So I did my executive MBA when my kids, my younger one was in primary elementary school, and my older one was in middle school. And I had a full-time job. I had 2 kids to raise, and I started my executive MBA in 2015. I think through that, the very first semester, I decided, I think this is too much. I don't think I can, get going with it, and I should quit. I didn't quit, but I think, and which I'm grateful for I didn't, but one thing I couldn't do, and because of the circumstances I had, the timing I had, I didn't network enough. So I didn't make the connections I could have if I was solely on campus, roaming around, talking to people. So that's one regret I'll always keep.
I would just say take it seriously. Use every opportunity you have here. I did not do that. I learned to study over the 5 years it took me to get an engineering degree. And then I learned the hard knocks in business. I think it could have all been accelerated if I just frankly had a little less fun and a lot more discipline.
Yeah, I probably was going to say the same thing. So commitment, if I worked a little harder, I did just enough to get by back then, and I wish I had done a little bit more. I mean, obviously things have worked out well, but it's at that time, going back to, I graduated in 1987 from the school, and things were different, but wish I worked a little harder.
And I would say, especially in today's world, no one needs to wait. They can start creating right now.
Right now.
I want to say thank you for asking that question, by the way. A round of applause. Yeah. Okay, a round of applause for our fireside chat. Thank you all very much. I could speak with you all night. Now we're going to go on over to the judges' tables, and I'm going to introduce our 2 other judges. And then it's what we're here for. We are going to hear the next great ideas that are going to solve the problems of our world. So please welcome to the stage Paul Johnson. He is the CEO of Hexa. Paul, thank you for joining us. And Mike Covert, CEO and founder of Ignite Partners. Mike, come on out. So Paul, real quick, when you get seated, I asked our other judges to give their 30-second pitch to show solidarity for those students that are coming out tonight and alumni. Can we have your 30-second pitch of who you are and what you want to see tonight?
Sure. Thanks for having me here, and hello, everyone.
I just like to say right now I run Hexa Innovations. It's a center that's 11 minutes away on North Greenville Avenue here in Richardson. What it is in a functional way, it's a co-working, meeting, office, conference center. In a more human way, it's an ecosystem where we work with and help startups, founders with mentorship, with investment, all those things. So it's a great place. I invite you all to come up and be the part of that. Been there for 1 year. The prior 12 years, I did the solo entrepreneurship thing. I will tell you, I got kneecapped by 2008. I got kneecapped by COVID. Not every story is a happy ending, but you learn. You learn a lot along the way. Prior to that, I spent 25 years with Best Buy. My last big roles, I was working within internal change management as well as national sales management. Ran a lot of markets. Fun story that I think is very relatable. I was a store manager here in 1993 at the Plano store. It has a historical moment that I was there for. It was the first store in company history to do $1 million in sales in one day, and that was Black Friday that day. Later, I was the territory sales manager for the Texas market, and we set the record. We were the first territory, a group of about 120 stores, to do $1 billion in sales in 1 year. So just some proud moments. A big thing I learned along the way I'd like to really share with all of you. You don't know if the person next to you, the person approaching you to be a part of what you're dreaming, you don't know if they're not the next Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, right? My advice, treat them as if they are, and you will be amazed by who they become and who they are.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Mike, good luck following up that wisdom right there, because I'm writing that down.
You've been practicing, haven't you? My name is Mike Covert. I'm the CEO and founder of several professional service companies. The one closest to UTD, and very near Hexa, actually, is called Ignite Partnership. And we are in the business of big ideas. We help companies take their big ideas to market, having launched, I've stopped counting, but at least 400 products domestically and globally. Some for companies you've heard of, like Microsoft and Samsung and Qualcomm, and many others for companies that were just, I don't want to say starting out, but seeking funding, seeking to scale. And the stories that they had to tell were incredible, and a great responsibility for my agency to strategically help them figure out where to tell that story and how to tell it so it sticks. And so I've probably been a part of, I don't know, I'll say 1,000 pitches in my life, given many, listened to many more. And what I want to see tonight is the passion and conviction, because there's nothing like an entrepreneur to drive progress in society, in business, and affect our lives. And I can tell you firsthand, big ideas come from anyone and everyone. It's the follow-through, as you guys talked about on the panel, that's hard. So I want to see some conviction and some passion.
All right, let's get to it. Round of applause, everyone, please. Okay, so the way this is going to work, we are going to hear from our student track teams. They're going to have 5 minutes to pitch. I want you guys to go crazy when they walk out here. And when they end, I want you to go crazy as well. It is not easy. I do this for a living. It's not easy to stand in front of people and speak, and especially about something that you're passionate about, putting something into the world. We know it's necessary, but we want to support them in this space. After that 5-minute presentation, these esteemed judges will have 5 minutes to ask their questions. Judges, we may get to 2 or 3 questions during a round, and the next round we'll go to the next list of judges to make sure we're hearing from everybody, but we're going to try and keep this moving throughout the night. Okay, so let's get to our first presenter. This is Bio de Oliveira. It's Akeda and Oriked. Come on out. You got this.
Hi everyone, I'm Ikeda. And I'm Orikeda. And at BioDelivera, we are developing a breakthrough platform for precise cancer therapy delivery. 30 years ago, cancer treatment meant chemo and radiation as one of the treatments. Shockingly, today, more than 60% of the patients still get the same treatment. These have severe side effects, they have low quality of life, and they kill a lot of healthy cells. That's why people are betting on delivery system being the solution. However, most of the current delivery systems, they are only good at blood cancer, and they fail at solid tumors, which are 90% of the tumors. They have a lot of off-targeting effect, they have low tumor penetration, and they are extremely expensive to manufacture. And specifically, they are intratumorally delivered.
So if you ask a patient or a doctor, they will tell you how painful it is, the intratumoral injection, because you have to inject the drug into the tumor with a needle. That's why we think the best way to deliver a drug into the tumor is to put it through the blood, through intravenous injections. So right now, the current intravenous delivery system can send the drug into the tumor, as you can see. However, they target also the healthy organs, such as kidney, liver, spleen, or heart, which decreases the efficiency of the treatment, decreases the quality of life of the patient.
At BioDelivra, we took an existing virus-like particle and we programmed its genetic code to deliver cargo therapy. But how do we actually make it to go only to cancer cells and not go into the healthy cells? That's where we engineered this molecular moieties on its surface, which you can imagine being a GPS that goes and targets the cancer cells. Or another way to imagine it would be as a Velcro that sticks only to the cancer cells, specifically HER2-positive cancer cells. And we have shown that we have backed up data showing that in an animal model, whenever you put this in a in a blood of a mouse, it specifically goes and targets only the tumors, and it is not present in any organs. And specifically, we chose HER2-positive types of tumors because they are the most aggressive types. They are found in breast cancer, ovarian cancer, esophageal, bladder, and gastric.
However, cancer is really complex. Yes, you have to have a delivery system that sends the drug precisely to the tumor. However, it needs to go deep in the tumor, go to the core, and kill it. Right now, the delivery systems are doing a pretty bad job at it. Only 20% of the drug is reaching the tumor, and when it's reaching it, as you can see in pink, the drug only stays on the surface of the tumor. In BioDelivra, our nanoparticle, because of their unique shape and their biocompatibility with the body, they can infiltrate the tumor. So as you can see, the tumor all is in pink, so the drug is all there. We have reached up to 90% of the tumor infiltration. For the first time, we are showing a delivery system that can precisely only target the cancer cells, has a deep infiltration to tumor tissues, and it is cheap to manufacture. This is a game changer for cancer therapy.
Cancer therapies are one of the highest in the market, but specifically solid tumors are estimated to reach around $440 billion by 2030.
So when we think of business model, we are thinking two ways. One, we can license this platform technology to other companies, or what we can do is that the main one is to use the platform technology for cancer therapy and later on also genome therapy.
We are the scientists behind this. We've been working for this for several years, starting from 2022 until today. We have in vitro and in vivo data that we can do this very precisely delivering tumors, and we can make this 70% cheaper than our competitors. And we hope that by 2030, we can reach the market.
We want to thank all our scientific collaborators which are leading in cancer research. We want to thank our academic advisors and business advisors which are helping us moving from preclinical research to clinical research.
And these are some ways to get in contact with us. Thank you.
Congratulations, ladies. Okay, judges, who wants to go first?
I can go? Yes. So, and help me understand this. So I think we talked about virus-like particles, right?
Yes, exactly.
So is that different from chemo, completely different technology?
Yes.
That has been invented or created by your team?
Yes, so that is a delivery system which can, inside of it, deliver any cancer drugs, can be chemotherapy too, but specifically also go on target cells alone, because chemotherapy today doesn't target cancer and they go everywhere. That's why we have the side effects such as like losing hair, like most of the people cannot stand on it too, for too long. Yeah.
So this would not affect patients' other organs like
No,
chemo would?
yeah, we have those, or can you go back? Yes, we have that in vivo data which shows that in the mouse model, we have seen that it does not go in any healthy organs, as you can see it here. The fluorescent signal there is from our nanoparticle, and it specifically goes only in tumors. We do not see it in any other organs, which we could see it in other delivery platforms.
The good thing about this, I would say, is because this increases a lot the efficiency of the treatment. Because, for example, if 100% of your treatment or 90% is going to the tumor, then you don't need to redose your patient. Right now, for example, you have to redose your patient up to 6 times or 7 times because they also attack the other healthy organs. But if you are 90% of your drug is going to the tumor, the efficiency increases a lot. And also your patient don't lose the quality of life. You know, they don't feel sick all the time, so they can do their activities.
Can you briefly talk about your go-to-market strategy? Is the goal to build your own successful business or to get through the clinical phase and then license the technology to major pharma?
Yeah, we are currently working in our patent, so we are very soon going to license it, but we are estimating that by 2030 we can reach clinical trials. Currently we are in preclinical, we have done mouse work, and then from mouse work goes to a non-human primate, and then after that we'll go to humans, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. The good thing is that this VLP, without different modification, has gone through clinical trials, so it is known to be safe in humans. But they haven't been efficient because they do intratumoral delivery, but compared to us, we do intravenous injection.
Yeah, and I would just wanted to add that as a platform technology, we think of it because you can, you can take whatever cancer drug, put it inside of the VLP, and then just by targeting the tumor, you can deliver whatever you want to kill the cancer. So you can use this also for other diseases, such as genome therapy, for muscle diseases, because you can deliver whatever cargo based on the cell receptors that you are targeting. Right now, we are targeting cancer cell receptors, yeah. That depends.
And we'll do one more question, and judges, do me a favor and speak as closely as you can into the microphones.
So have you patented this technology, or is there a trademark, or is this out in public and anyone can use it? Just help me understand this.
Okay. Yeah, so right now we are in the process of patenting. We already started the patenting and are in the process of it, and we hopefully think that soon we'll be able to fully be patented. Yeah, but we have already started the process.
Okay, thank you.
A round of applause, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing.
Where'd you go?
Great job.
Are we handing out business cards? Brilliant. I love that. If you take nothing else, do that when you're presenting also. Make those connections, the networking that we were talking about. Okay, our next presenter in the student track is Prakul, the creator of Zephyr. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you. Testing. Awesome. Well, hello. My name is Prakul, and I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Zephyr. Zephyr helps sports teams analyze their game video. Our software watches the video of a game and instantly generates any statistic that the coach wants. Now, to preface, I used to be a semi-pro soccer player here in North Texas, and prior to coming to UT Dallas, had originally committed to Caltech for both soccer and track. Video analysis has been present across every facet of the game. Before the game, you would watch videos of opponents and make a plan to beat them. During the game, our assistant coaches would tag when and where events happened. And after the game, you would do some retrospective film analysis to compare your performance to your plan. Let me give an example. This is my Frisco Centennial High School coach who played for the U.S. men's national team. He now coaches the UT Tyler women's team, who recently played Midwestern State. Before the game, he watched Midwestern State's past 5 games. That's 10 hours of film footage, all to make a plan and understand exactly how they play. He noticed that there was one striker, one forward on the opponent's team, who always got the ball and using her speed managed to score. So he built practice plans to prevent this player from getting the ball. During the game, him and 2 assistant coaches had to encode video on their iPads, manually tagging these events. This required them to be heads down the entire time, preventing them from getting any sort of analysis at halftime. After the game, they had to do retrospective film analysis, each spending 3 hours every day for the next week. He tabulated over 24 different statistics, all to improve not only for this game, but every event that followed throughout the season. Every game, every practice, every scrimmage. Now, the sports analytics market is a $25 billion market. And what's most notable here is the youth club sports market size. Relative to the professional and D1 realm, the most underserved athletes and coaches are in youth club sports and in high school and D2, D3. That's what we're focusing on. In this space, Huddle is a billion-dollar company that's raised over $200 million. Now, what they've done very well is by building cameras made for sports, solved the problem of recording and sharing game video. They started in college football and expanded horizontally and vertically to nearly all sports and levels of play. They're also in 98% of US high schools right now. But they're expensive and their analytics are weak. Huddle and other software tools only tag general events like shots, saves, and goals. The unfortunate reality, most coaches, including Coach Thompson, have to download their video and frame by frame, minute by minute, watch everything to get any relevant piece of information out of it. So we asked ourselves, what would it take to give every coach the customizability of statistics that the top 1% receive? That's why we built Zephyr. Zephyr watches the video of a game and automatically generates any statistic that the coach wants. Before a game, Coach Thompson uploads game videos of opponents and his terminology and definitions. Zephyr automatically tags any event that he's concerned about and gives him a holistic and detailed report on exactly the positives and negatives of the opponent's style of play. In fact, Zephyr even tabulates these statistics for him and presents everything that he needs whenever he needs it. Now, you may be wondering, how exactly does this work? Well, we take in not just the film, but the game model itself. And what Zephyr does is it creates a massive frame-by-frame data set of every single player, the ball, and the field for every single moment. Now, using this, we can build statistics algorithmically. We are no longer limited to any general event. Arbitrary events like good run or bad run can be identified provided that they're defined. We launched 4 months ago and working with local high schools all the way up to NCAA Division I programs across soccer and basketball. We've raised around $1 million from some of the top Silicon Valley investors, including A4 Capital, the investors in overtime sports. Our goal is to become the best analytics platform for every team on the planet. With more data, our models get better, and with more data and better models, we're able to give every single coach the customizability of statistics that only the top few receive. For background, I was a semi-pro soccer player and I'm a cloud developer. My co-founder was a machine learning engineer who turned down an offer at Dropbox to build this. We've won hackathons across the country, including Harvard's, UCLA's, and our very own Hack UTDs every year we participated. Thank you so much. Would love to answer any questions.
Woo. Brilliant job. For this one, Doug, I want to start with you, and remember, judges, speak into that microphone. We started this presentation with the why, and we ended with the why, seeing your experience. So that made me think of Doug. So Doug, whatever question you have, tee it up.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to know the how, because I noticed 4 to 8 hours to provide your solution. Mm-hmm. What's the secret sauce in your platform?
Got it. So there's 3 things, or actually 2 things. One is 3 computer vision models that keep track of the player, the ball, and the field, all separately. Now with this, the massive data set that we create, we know the XY positions of every single object on the field relative to one another. The other thing, which is what helps LLMs like GPT or DeepSeek understand spatial reasoning, is a custom encoder that we've built ourselves. something that's never been done before. We can reconcile the two by providing the massive data set to these LLMs and efficiently parse through the data set by intelligently understanding a query using the same terminology that's fed to us in the beginning.
So why 8 hours?
Why 8 hours? Because for video processing, it takes a long time, even with the best compute right now. Even if we use GPUs, on average, it takes 4 to 8 hours to create a massive data set. The good part, after we've done that, we no longer need to do that ever again.
Anyone else with questions?
This is a very interesting idea. I love sports, and I've watched sports. I don't play sports, so very interesting. You have some customers. That's great. I'm curious what you've learned and how your initial customers are shaping your ideal customer persona.
Absolutely. So in the beginning, I won't say we grew too fast, but we had customers with many divergent requests. So prior to fundraising, we had around $30,000, $40,000 in ARR. However, this was across multiple verticals and multiple horizontals. We were working with NCAA D1 basketball teams and local high school soccer teams. What we decided to do was put those on hold and really hone in on the private high school soccer space. Why? Private high schools are a bit less budget sensitive, and soccer is where computationally the gap in sports analytics is. If we look at a soccer field, it's big, the players are small, the ball is small. From a computer's perspective, it's significantly more difficult to get good insights out of a soccer game than it is a basketball game, where the court's small, the players are big, and the ball is big.
Thank you.
Is there a sport where AI analytics are ahead of soccer, and has there been anything to learn from those?
Absolutely. Across AI analytics, I mean, if we look at the competitors, Huddle, Veo, Spidio, Veo and Spidio are primarily focused on soccer, addressing the same problem that we are, which is the gap in the market, soccer. Huddle is phenomenal at football, which is their bread and butter, which is why they're so big, especially in America. If we look at AI analytics tools, though, and what exactly they do under the hood, what they still do is just tag general events. There's no customizability across any platform. And I would know as one of the users, as an athlete.
We have time for one last question.
So you said, is the platform online now? Is it live?
Yes, it's live.
Okay.
We
So
have
is
users.
Who's the primary the client you see? Is it the school teams? Is it the division teams? Or is it the end players?
Yes. So I'm very glad you asked, because I wanted to mention one thing which is relevant to this. The engine that we're building, and how the best I can summarize Zephyr, is it's an AI assistant coach. Currently, coaches are our ICP. They are the ones who are on the platform the most, using it the most. But just 1 week ago, we launched player tracking. And this is how this entire thing started. I knew that as a player, I had to create a highlight reel to get recruited to college. So I had to watch 100 hours of film and condense that into 5 minutes. Now, with this engine, we're able to give players their moments. Their good moments, their bad moments. Parents are able to find every single one of their kids' moments as well. So the engine's applicability is honestly very divergent with regards to the direction that we choose to go in. For now, it's coaches, and we're focused on retrospective film analysis.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic job. I'll take that.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Our next presenter is Arrow Loop, presented by Jared. Jared, come on out. It's the Dropkick Mollies. That's good.
A year. Sorry, the global plastics market is massive at over $700 billion a year. Yet, despite countless sustainability pledges, less than 10% of that comes from recycled sources. If you ask industry leaders why that is, they'll point to a lack of supply. However, having led innovation for Clorox for more than 10 years, I'll tell you that everybody wants to be sustainable until they have to pay for it. Right now, the only way to achieve high quality and low cost is through petroleum-based plastic. Mechanical recycling decreases quality, and chemical recycling is expensive and energy intensive. We're changing that by re-examining the overall plastics value chain. Right now, it largely looks like a straight line. You start with oil, and you end up largely in the landfill or incinerated. We see it differently. We see it as an incomplete circle. And we have technology developed at MIT where we can take landfill-bound plastic and textiles, apply a biochemical process to recover the original commodity chemicals to be fed back into the existing infrastructure. So how we do this, I want you to think about plastics as a pearl necklace. It's a repeating chain of identical valuable units. Now, bear with me. We're going to get a little technical for the next image. What we do is we create microbes that express enzymes on their surface that turned our microbes into molecular scissors-wielding ninjas that are able to selectively chop out those pearls that can be fed back into the existing infrastructure in a low-carbon approach, low cost, without a degradation in quality. While we have the vision to reinvent the overall plastics economy, where this technology works today is polyester. That's a huge market in itself at $130 billion a year. However, only about 5% of that comes from recycled sources today. Empowered by the fact that we have a no-compromise cost and quality approach to recover the same ingredients, and over 120 global brands are committed to raising their amount of recycled polyester, we see no reason that this 5% piece can't become a much larger portion of the global polyester market. Now, we generate value in 4 different ways. At our core, we are a next-generation chemical manufacturer. However, where traditional manufacturers start with oil at about $500 a ton, we actually get paid for our inputs up to $65 a ton, significantly increasing our potential for profitability. Beyond that, we're taking a deep IP approach to give us a less capital-intensive way to scale through technology licensing. Lastly, one of the other major challenges facing this industry is greenwashing and a lack of credibility. We're tackling that by developing a brand certification and licensing approach to give consumers and brands confidence that their materials come from recycled sources. Now, we're the right team to build OraLoop. My co-founder is Ariel First, a brilliant chemical engineering professor at MIT, a 3-time founder, and a serial inventor, including the technology powering OraLoop. I bring a PhD in chemistry, a pending MBA, and over a decade leading cross-functional, sustainable innovation teams in a Fortune 500 environment. But we're not just a couple of nerds building a company. And to keep focused on what really matters, we've created a tangible value cry of the scarf. How do we go from a proven academic technology to actually make the real impact? It starts with one scarf, developing our R&D facility, expanding our team, and establishing the right partnerships. From one scarf, we go to 1,000, establishing pilot scale and getting revenue positive. And lastly, 1,000,000 scarves, where we hit industrial production scale, become profitable, with a chance to reshape the global consumer products and fashion markets. Now, we're not just a sustainable company in values. By focusing on early revenue, we see a path to becoming profit positive as early as year 4. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my vision for OraLoop with you, and I hope you join me on my journey where plastic and textile waste is just the beginning of the cycle. Together, we can turn waste into wealth. Thank you.
Woo! Fantastic job. Okay, who wants to take the first question here?
Yeah, so question on the, I guess, implied in the business model, you said is the 65, still pay up to 65%. I'm gonna assume that's because that customer is already paying for disposal of that waste product, so they'd rather pay you and then you recycle. Is that, am I understanding that correctly?
Exactly. We're a landfill alternative. And so if the material can't be sold elsewhere, somebody's going to have to pay a tolling fee to the landfill to take that, which currently is around $65 a ton. Pay us instead, and we'll recover the value from it.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
You talked about the key being everyone wants recycling and efficiency, but nobody wants to pay for it. At year 5, what do you see the differential between your recycled output versus new from petroleum products?
So that's the beauty of using a biochemical approach, that there is no difference chemically. A lot of the other processes, mechanically and chemically, it can have downcycling. Ours is chemically identical to what the petroleum product is, so there's no difference in quality.
So you'll be selling the same price, people can't tell the difference.
We're effectively a commodity business, but we're generating value in those other 3 ways, particularly the brand licensing.
Great.
So real quickly, you're in phase 1, the lab phase. Do you have proof of concept? I mean, confidence that this works, and then what does it cost to scale it to get to phase 3?
So right now, this is proven in an academic environment, so it works at bench scale. I could take a piece of my shirt, throw it in a beaker, in a day, it would be the original commodity chemicals. Right now, that's the piece that we need, the investment to be able to develop our industrial lab, because there's not value in an academic sense to do scaling. That's something that we need to do, so that's where we're seeking partners. From a overall investment that we need, phase 1, we're looking for about $1.5 million to hit that pilot scale. Pilot scale is going to be probably in the $5 to $10 million.
Can I ask one more question? How did you meet your co-founder?
How did I meet my co-founder? She's my best friend's wife.
Oh, there you go.
That's how it goes.
All right, everyone, round of applause. Fantastic job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, judges, real quick, I want to ask you, from what we've seen so far, and Michael, I'll center this one on you, what's sticking out to you about the presentation? Because we talk about the strength of ideas, but then also the ability to communicate. What are we seeing so far?
5 minutes is not very long.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to get a story across. I think they're very well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that there's been a lot of practice going on here. And talk about some diverse product opportunities. So very cool to see all this different thinking, different markets at play. But I feel for them. 5 minutes to condense your dream and your idea into that amount of time, it's tough. And I think they're doing a great job so far.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to introduce our last candidate on the student track. This is Gather Connect. Arjun is coming to demonstrate. Come on out. You got that. That work? Okay. You're welcome.
Imagine this. It's your first day of college and you're on a campus hours away from home. You get there full of excitement, ready to see what campus has to offer, only to soon feel lost in a sea of unfamiliar faces and unsure on how to meet new people and really connect with your community. Instead of the friends, freedom, and college experience you'd expected, you start to feel isolated and alone. Nearly half of all college students are depressed, and those spending 5+ hours a day on their phone report even higher levels of loneliness. Instead of staying trapped in digital isolation, many students are craving real in-person connections. According to a study, over 77% of students say they long for more genuine face-to-face connection, proving that in a screen-filled world, genuine connection has never mattered more. That's why we built Gather, a single platform that connects college students to the events that they actually want to go to. No more fragmented group chats, Instagram stories, or word of mouth to find out what there is to do. Gather gets students off their phones and into real-life experiences. No more endless scrolling, just real events, real people, and real memories. Now, we know this idea has been tried before, but Gather is the first to truly resonate with how Gen Z students want to discover and attend events while giving event hosts direct access to the college and young adult market like no other tool has been able to do before. And we deliver this through 3 core experiences. Firstly, students can browse our main feed to find the events that they're looking for. They can also look through our top 5 trending events to see the events other students are going to as well. And they can buy tickets directly within the app, making event discovery convenient and seamless. Secondly, we have recap mode. This allows students to relive the highlights of an event through photos and shared reactions, building a community that reflects each college's unique culture. And lastly, for event organizers, we offer real-time data that helps event organizers track performance, refine their events, and give them direct access to the college and young adult market. Our business model is simple. We charge a $1.99 processing fee on each ticket sold, which allows the host to retain 100% of their profit. As of right now, we're averaging about $200 of profit per event that we have ticketed. The market opportunity for this is huge. College students and young adults make a huge chunk of the nightlife market, spending on parties, clubs, raves, and bars every single weekend, and Gather is said to be the go-to event discovery and ticketing platform for that audience. The total US nightlife ticketing market is valued at $3.7 billion, with college students making up a $1.1 billion opportunity. If we can capture just 4% of the share across 500 campuses, including the local nightlife, that is a $45 million market, a scalable and growing space. In just 1 year, we've built a vibrant community of over 8,000 users across 2 major Texas universities, UTD and UNC. And in just 4 months of launching the beta version of our ticketing platform, we processed nearly $18,500 in ticket sales and generated over $1,200 of profit, showing clear evidence of product market fit. What's even more impressive is that we've done this with 0 paid marketing. Our organic social media presence exploded, amassing over 12.6 million views, making Gather a household name among students. We absolutely love going to parties and events and hearing students say, I found this event through Gather, because it reminds us that we're not just building an app, we're reshaping the college experience. Our marketing strategy consists of 3 steps that taps into the essence of campus life. Firstly, we'll have campus ambassadors. We'll be empowering enthusiastic students at each and every university to represent Gather. Secondly, they'll create consistent social media content that drives buzz and organic growth that is specific to their university. And lastly, we'll establish campus partnerships. We'll collaborate with campus organizations and influencers to embed Gather deeply within the campus's culture. This unique and proven model drives engagement by embedding Gather deeply within the college's ecosystem, making it the go-to hub for campus life in a way that traditional event platforms have not been able to do before. As college students, we don't just understand our market, we are our market. And I'm proud to be building Gather with an incredibly capable team. Baraka, our COO, who worked in logistics on a large nonprofit housing project, brings key operational experience. Solomon, our CTO, who has over 4+ years of experience in coding and even built and managed an AI tool that helps college students manage their schedules. And I've been able to grow a social media page to over 75,000 followers, bringing hands-on experience in digital marketing and viral growth. We're also guided by a seasoned mentor who has over 20+ years of experience in the startup field, is an investor and advisor to multiple startups, and an early investor in a company called M-Pocket, which is now valued at over $75 million. The most impressive part about our team is that we've made all of Gather's progress with just 3 of us driving the vision. So just imagine, with your support, how far we could scale Gather. Gather isn't just an app. It's a movement to revive the authentic connections that are essential to the college experience. By transforming the way that college students discover and attend events, we're building a more engaged and connected generation. With your support, we can scale Gather nationwide and inspire students to stop scrolling and start living. Thank you.
First question.
I think I'll go. It's a great product. I think I'm just trying to still understand the difference between the tools that's already available.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more of a ticketing platform to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, we all buy tickets for different events? So I believe the students can now go here and purchase a ticket, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And then the second mode for this was the connection mode, right?
Yes.
The recap mode. So help me understand, how would the recap work? So if I am a student here and I go to an event which is published here, does it have to be a UTD event, or I can see any event that's happening?
Any event that's happening within the area, right? So we want to kind of display the events that college students want to go to, and that also includes a lot of the nightlife events that are happening in downtown Dallas. A lot of the college students are going there, whether that be for parties or for bars or for clubs, they're going to downtown Dallas. So we kind of want to get all of that within our app. And to address your earlier point about how we might be a little bit different than the existing event discovery and ticketing platforms out there, we are the first to specifically encompass the college experience. We've noticed that a lot of the current event discovery platforms, college students aren't actively using them. They don't have the events that they're looking for. If I'm a freshman in college and I want to find a shared interest, if I want to find the AI club who's hosting a meeting this weekend, I can't find that on a traditional event platform like Eventbrite, for example. We want to have that within our app. And on top of that, what we do is we create features that are specific to the college experience, like recap mode, for example. That was a result of taking in lots and lots of user feedback. We spent hours messaging hundreds, probably thousands of students who have downloaded our app and just asked them, what do you like about that? What do you dislike about it? What would you like to see more of? And through that, we're able to create features like recap mode and trending mode as well, where students can see the trending events. What we're doing is that we're embedding the social fabric of college life within the event discovery, like sphere, in a way that other platforms have not been able to do before.
Cool, thank you.
Who's paying? So is the student, they're going to an event, that there's a cost to the event, and in addition, there's a cost to purchasing a ticket on your platform?
Yes, so how it works is anyone who's hosting a ticketed event, for example, a lot of parties and whatnot, you have to pay like a $10, $15 cover fee. What we can do is we make it really easy for you to just sell it directly within our app, and all they have to do is they pay the initial, let's say $10, $15, and all we do is we add on like a $1.99 processing fee that we take ourselves.
Okay.
So just to clarify that, though, the student pays that $1.99,
Yes.
not the merchant.
Yes.
So how are you going to police this, to make it the drawing people together aspect? What I see is, let's say I own a local business, I post something, sell tickets.
Yeah.
And then, others may comment, post a video, had a great time, whatever. How do you keep that from turning into kind of the same drill that exists today on the normal social media platforms that isolate people and keep them from communicating?
Yeah, so what we do is, what we've noticed with like traditional social media platforms is, like you said, a lot of times people will post events on, let's say, Instagram or Facebook, right? The biggest issue with that is that it's scattered. You're at the mercy of the algorithm, of the social media algorithm. You're not guaranteed to find events. You're not guaranteed to find the community that's around you. What we do is we centralize specifically those events that college students and young adults are interested in, and we put that on the app. And in order to ensure that it doesn't get saturated with events that might not be reflected of our audience or what we want to see, we have an approval system as well. So anytime an event gets posted, it doesn't immediately go to our feed. What we do is my team and I will look through each and every event and make sure that it follows our guidelines, that it's a high quality event, and that it's not inappropriate or something that we don't want college students to see. And as we continue to expand as well, we'll have each of our campus ambassadors do that at each of their universities as well.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, of
So
course.
if the event is $10 and the fee is $1.99,
Yes.
are you collecting both the $10 for the event and the $1.99?
No. So we use a third-party financial service, Stripe.
Okay.
What happens is they handle all the money themselves. Stripe will handle like the $10, and that will go directly to the event organizer. What this does is it also builds a sense of trust as well. A lot of event organizers are hesitant about giving their bank information to like a new company that they might not have heard of.
Yeah.
We use that third-party service to ensure there's a little bit of trust that, hey, we're not handling your money. It goes straight through Stripe and straight into your account, and we just take the $1.99. That's it.
So you don't take a cut of the money that's going to the event venue?
No, because a lot of event organizers have had a problem with that. Traditional event platforms like Eventbrite, for example, they charge lots and lots of extra miscellaneous fees, processing fees, and we've talked to a lot of event organizers, and they are sick of it. A lot of their profits are getting eaten into, and the hosts or the users also having to pay a really hiked up price on their ticket. We offered a much more affordable solution to that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome job. Okay, so let's hear it for all of our student track presenters. While we wait for the alumni section, Paul, I'm going to pose a question to you. I saw this question come up on almost every presentation, the idea of differentiation. Usually if there's a problem or an issue in the world, multiple people have seen it, multiple solutions are being presented. What's your advice on articulating that differentiation and the importance of it when pitching?
So from what I've seen and heard, and we work with a lot of students, both from UTD and SMU, where they come and practice pitching with us, the challenge, as Mike brought up earlier, 5 minutes is not a lot of time,
Yeah.
right? So how do you quickly describe a shared experience so that you immediately have, the judges were people too, so that we can connect to say, yeah, I've lived that, I understand that, I see that as real. And then can you paint a really bright line around this is the moment where we depart from the typical path? And you just have to be, really aggressively transparent about this is what's different. It's not going to be this, it's going to be this, and here's the benefit of that. So it's an important thing to do. And what we tell people also is it's in your practice sessions that you want people that you're practicing your pitch to. You need people who are going to you need to tell them, I'm looking to do this well, and you need to give me feedback on that, and you can't hold back.
I love that. I love that. Thank you very much. I hope we were all taking note on that one. I know I was.
Okay, again, one more round of applause for our student track. We are now moving on to the alumni. The first presenter and team we're going to hear from is Val Cluse, and Bryce will be presenting. Bryce.
Let's go. Pick it up. UTD, baby. It's good to be back. Clock's not ticking good. Good evening. My name is Breeze Sokolowski. I am the president and founder of Vaucluse Backpack Ventilation Gear, and I'm a proud graduate of the University of Texas at Dallas, 2004. So good to be back. The problem that I've had in the decades that I've been around is that backpacks make me sweat. More than likely, they make you sweat as well. And to be honest, the technology and the design has not really changed in the past 60 years. So, after trying to find a good backpack, I decided to patent an attachable backpack ventilation frame that you can simply put on your favorite backpack to increase airflow, which allows you to remove and evaporate all of that sweat so you're much more comfortable. Now the question is how uncomfortable is this problem? Well, I surveyed 3,000 people, and 84% of them told me it's annoying, if not unbearable. In fact, in the United States alone, 60% of Americans own a backpack, and over 120 million backpacks are sold every year. So the next question I ask myself is how many people would buy a solution? How many people would buy my backpack frame? 93% of them said yes, they'd buy my backpack frame. Now, there's a difference between saying they would and they actually did. And the good news is, they actually did. We launched our first prototype in 2022, and since then, we've been growing revenue, increasing sales to the point that we're on track to sell $1 million of backpack ventilation frames this year. Thank you. So who is our customer? Our customer, number one, they're young. Number two, they like both comfort and function. And three, they're using our ventilation gear in a myriad of different ways. So this means we are crushing it in both function and comfort. And this puts us in the sweet spot of a very exciting opportunity because we are in between traditional activewear and what's called athleisure, which everyone knows about. And most of our customers are leaning towards athleisure, which is a booming market right now that's seeing significant revenue growth. And so with all of this, we see a clear path with our patented technology, our customers, our revenue growth. I see an opportunity to scale our business to $10 million in 2026, and we're going to do that in 4 different ways. Number one, we're going to take our existing technology and design ventilation frames for backpacks that are used in specific types of activities. For example, school, commute, activewear, like hydration packs, and obviously hiking. Second, we're going to increase our sales by targeting these key markets. As I mentioned, over 100 million backpacks are sold every year. 72% of them are from school. You've got travel. There's 3 million travelers every year in the United States. That's 800 million travelers. Obviously, that's a lot more than the number of people in the United States, but 63% of them prefer a backpack. And more than likely, you've been running to TSA, to your gate, and you've sweated, and you get to your plane, and you're uncomfortable. Excellent opportunity. Third, we're going to license our patented technology to the key players, particularly the activewear, traditional activewear companies who are desperately seeking for innovation so they can compete with the new competitors. And then fourth, we're going to scale with global leaders and sell abroad internationally because everybody's wearing a backpack. That said, Vaucluse gear, we're growing, we're scaling. You don't have to sweat the small stuff because we already have the technology and it's patented. We're already on the path to generating $1 million of sales this year, and we see a clear path to $10 million, and that's why we're excited to be partnering with UTD with this opportunity, so that way we can do this together. So thank you very much.
Woo! All right, judges, now it's time to make Bryce sweat with your questions. Who wants to go first?
You've been waiting for that one, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Great job. And what an awesome product. I excel at sweating, and I like backpacks. So I feel it. Tell me more about your channel strategy and how you're going to get in with these kind of big box brands that put their products already out there. And I'm curious what's gotten you to 1 million. I assume primarily e-commerce thus far.
How we've gotten to where we are today is primarily e-commerce. Social media is tremendous. Second, we already have wholesale partners, and they're increasing their purchase orders, every quarter. And then third, as these sales are coming and we start learning about the key players, we start developing relationships. And right now we're in discussions with some of the bigger wholesalers. So it's just a matter of people like to see a winner, and when they see you've been around for a certain amount of time, doors start opening.
Quick follow-up. Is there a particular channel or partner you're looking at to accelerate growth like you showed next year?
I would say probably my key focus would be a company like Backcountry. E-commerce is really the way to go because REI, some people think REI is the way to go. Their base is much older, 55 and above, while our base is younger, and a lot of people buy their backpack stuff now online.
Thanks.
Yes?
So, congratulations. I mean, $1 million in revenue in your third year is commendable. I think the product, if you don't mind, can we see it?
Sure.
And is it one size fit all for any backpack?
I'm going to give that one here. At the moment, this is what I would call our minimal viable product. Not to get too much into the manufacturing. You can design something over and over again, and every tweak, everything can be quite expensive. So in the end, we said we're going to create something that hits 80% of the need, and that's what we've done.
So what?
I would say 90. It hits the home run, but that's why we're looking at this now. Now we can go on to this because customers are asking, can you make something that's more thinner, wider, longer?
So what would be your go-to-market strategy? Would it be through these REI big box retailers, or would you rather do e-commerce, quick commerce, and sell to consumers directly? So what are you thinking?
I mean, the go-to strategy now, we're developing relationship with some of the bigger players in e-com, and we're also seeing that they're connected with the bigger guys as well, which are brick and mortar. So it's just a matter of keeping those relationships going, making sure that the wholesale orders are fulfilled and they're happy and they keep talking to us. And they know our intentions as well.
And what's the retail pricing model on it?
Yeah, so that retails for $29 to $33. There's also a mesh sleeve that you can put on top of it. Some people think that would hurt you, but it doesn't because most of the weight is on the shoulders. But that, with the mesh sleeve, is about between $42 and $45.
Where are you making these?
We are proud to manufacture in the great state of Tennessee, and our mesh sleeves are in Utah.
And how has your reviews been? What is the feedback you're getting on this product?
The feedback, they love it, and they want to see more innovation. So that's why we're moving towards this. Customers are actually ecstatic that there's finally a solution out there, because the frame itself on a backpack has been for the past 60 years, or since 1960, it's been mostly a metal frame on the outside that kind of curves the backpack, and the metal frame tends to weigh at least 2 to 3 pounds, and as you're touching that, that weighs 1/5 of a pound, so it's extremely lightweight, so it's not really an addition of weight to the backpack.
How's the durability on the product?
You can stand on it, you can sit on it, it's robust.
Okay.
It's made out of a high-density polyethylene, which is a technical term of just a plastic that it's very, very common, but it's durable. It's used in a lot of different products.
Okay, fantastic. Let's hear it from a class. Great job.
Go Comets. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Good job.
Okay, while we get ready for our next presenters, fantastic job. I wanted to ask the judges about an idea. You know, we talked about identifying problems, presenting solutions. Bryce talked about how his problem, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't that big of a deal. It was an annoyance. But he leaned into that. What were your thoughts about that in the presentation, and also when looking for opportunity to create product or business in the marketplace? Anyone can jump in.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. It's the idea of, I think a lot of times we'd say we're going to find a problem and present a solution. Bryce leaned into the fact that his problem wasn't major. It was an annoyance. It wasn't a major problem. What's the lesson that we can extrapolate on opportunity in the marketplace if that's our barometer and we're explicit about it?
Yeah, I think there's many great examples of simple problems that don't have complex solutions.
Yeah.
Go back to Velcro when I was a child, right? Velcro was discovered by somebody studying a cockleburr. Any of you have been out on the plains of Texas know what that is. Yep. I think DuPont patented it and made boatloads of money. I think Uber or Airbnb or any number of sharing apps are not very technically complex, but they solve the meaningful problem. So I think somebody seeing those things and seizing on them and moving fast is really the message, because the one thing that's challenging, if it's a simple problem with a simple solution, others will do it.
So are you saying next time I'm annoyed, I could be the next billionaire? That's what I'm taking from that. Okay. All right, so our next presenter is our last in the alumni track, guys. This is, I'm trying to find my place here, Power Percept, and Amrit is presenting. Come on out. And he's bringing a crew.
Good evening, everyone. At Power Percept, we're building a smart insole that fits directly into your shoe, unlocking a smarter, safer workout experience.
I'm Amrit, a software engineer.
I'm James, a student at Brown University studying economics.
And I'm Avinash, also a student at Brown University studying economics. But as a Brown men's fencer, I constantly witnessed my friends and teammates getting injured. The most frustrating part, it never happened during competition, and always during off-season training. When I finally found myself injured and sitting on the sidelines, I knew this problem was bigger than any one of us, and it was time to take action.
Balance-based movements are one of the most important tools for building functional strength. They're crucial for gym goers who want to set new weightlifting goals. They help rehab patients take the first steps towards recovery, and they're used by athletes like Avi to build the skills they need to win championships. But the problem is that these movements are really difficult. Maintaining proper form involves so many different factors like weight distribution across the feet and proper weight transfer. And so it comes as no surprise that balance-based movements are one of the leading contributors for injuries at the gym. And after speaking to over 100 gym goers, athletes, and rehab patients, we realized that form breaks down under pressure. And micro errors, a small shift in weight, can be the difference between a successful workout and lifelong injury. Now, the market for training and injury prevention is massive. reflected by the $7.3 billion rehab equipment market and the $6.5 billion sports injury prevention market. And taken together with nearly $30 billion in just fitness wearables, there's a clear and growing demand for better recovery solutions. PowerPercept taps into all three of these markets with our smart insoles that give everyone a chance to monitor their training progress and conduct their workouts safely. PowerPercept is also a step ahead of the competition. Unlike other insoles, we provide feedback based on high-quality data, which is crucial for preventing injuries in real time. And alternatives like personal trainers are simply too expensive and impractical for the vast majority of us. So as it stands right now, we're stuck using our unreliable intuition to correct workout form. I don't know about y'all, but when I first started going to the gym, I got my intuition from some TikTok influencer whose credibility came from their ring light. We figured maybe there's a better way.
Imagine having a personal trainer analyzing your balance in real time, all the time. Our solution is an insole sensor system that captures your balance without disrupting your form. To use it, I simply slip the sole into my shoe, open the app, and select my exercise. As I move, the app shows me the force distribution across my feet, allowing me to correct my form in real time and prevent injuries before they happen. After my workout, I see my session summary, where I get personalized AI-powered analysis, giving me a structured plan to improve my workout and optimize my performance.
Already, we've used Brown's Explore and Expand grants to bring our prototype to a production-ready model. And now, over the next 2 months, we'll be pitching at competitions like Brown Venture Prize and UT Dallas in order to raise the funds to begin customer testing. First, we'll expand directly into rehabilitation clinics and athletic facilities because they have a demonstrated need and a dedicated budget for injury prevention solutions. Next, we'll scale directly to the consumer, offering both our product for $200 as well as our app subscription for $5 a month, giving our business 50% gross margins to grow. Other wearables like Whoop and Aura have used the same proven strategy and grew to over $100 million in valuation within just 6 years. They did this by starting with a niche athletic audience and then moving to serve every health-conscious individual. For us, we'll start by converting our initial testing unit to our first sales. And from there, we plan to expand into 35 additional connected facilities, generating over $100,000 in top-line revenue by the end of the year. As we scale, our online sales are projected to push us to $60 million in total revenue by the end of 5 years. With strong D2C traction and facility partnerships, we'll be well-positioned to license our tech at the market rate of 5%. Ultimately, our goal is to partner with major fitness brands like Nike, Strava, and Peloton, and offer our tech as a seamless integration into their existing ecosystems.
We're advised by experienced medical professionals, experts in fitness technology and medical device manufacturing and growth, and mentors at UT Dallas and Brown University. They're helping us patent our technology, decrease our unit costs, and allow users to buy our product through insurance. Judges, the fitness market is booming, but there's a gap in this market. The need for an affordable solution that offers real-time feedback. PowerPercept steps in to fill this need with our insoles that offer instant insights to correct form and optimize performance. PowerPercept isn't just a product. We're the future of intelligent training. Thank you.
Let's hear it for PowerPercept. Yep, go ahead and start your questioning.
So walk us through the technology. You showed like a chip. Is it chip-based? Walk us through what it is. How big is it?
Yeah, so I have a model right here. The chip is housed inside the sole.
Is this mine?
And it's the chip is housed inside the sole, and it uses a couple of different components. It's a custom PCB that we manufactured, and it uses FlexiForce sensors, which are force-sensitive resistors, which are able to detect minute movements in force and are able to provide us with the accurate force sensing we need to detect micro errors in force distribution as you do a static exercise like squatting or a dynamic exercise.
So is the intent to be looking at your phone while you're working out, essentially?
So as you work out, you can place your phone in front of you to view the visualization, or we have accessibility features or just convenience features like audio cues that you can listen to while you work out if you have headphones in. There's a lot of different ways to receive the feedback, but the key feature of our application is to provide real-time feedback, whatever way that happens.
So your revenue chart, I saw kind of growing B2B and then B2C and licensing. Who are you targeting B2B to start, and who are your customers?
Yeah, we're starting with B2B because it'll allow us to get, first, athletic traction with community credibility. So it's rehabilitation clinics, as well as athletic facilities and training programs, like Division I schools, like as an athlete, those are our initial things, or even high school programs for when they don't have dedicated coaches for every single athlete. So we have a two-pronged strategy to hit those targets. There's around 50,000 clinics across America, and there's over 2 million athletes training in structured programs across the United States. So that's how we're getting our initial traction. But our true growth will come from D2C. So later, when we launch our product online, we'll allow consumers to buy our product, so for $200, and our app subscription for $5. And that should allow anyone the ability to get this expert insight at the affordable cost of $200.
And then what is it you're licensing?
Yeah, we're licensing the technology as well as the software analysis that we're doing. So we have two main innovations that we're going to be working to patent with advisors at UTD and Brown University. First, our sensor configuration and processing that allows us to capture this data in real time that no one else does. And second, that data needs to be visualized in some way. And we decided that consumer-friendly language and analysis powered by AI will allow anyone the ability to understand all the data points that we're collecting. So that's the inner workings of our product.
So I'm sorry, last question. I think the picture or maybe the visual you showed, the sensor looked pretty sizable. Is there a way to make that in a form factor that, I'm just thinking about having that in my shoe like a big rock.
So based on customer feedback, or not customer yet, but feedback from people who've worn the sole, it's very comfortable. It fits inside an area of the sole that your foot doesn't touch the bottom of the shoe. And nestled in the arch, it's able to be housed there and be safe without getting in the way of your comfort. But we are looking ahead. We're looking at advanced manufacturing techniques like padding the area with EVA and constructing the entire thing out of EVA foam, which will improve the comfort. We're also looking at advanced manufacturing techniques like flexible PCBs, which will allow us to print in a very flexible and flat way and improve the comfort even more. We're also we're going to decrease the form factor by using smaller chips, and we're going to do this. The money from the Big Idea competition will allow us to order these smaller components in bulk and be able to decrease both our unit cost and our form factor to improve that comfort.
So your near-term goal is raise money to build those prototypes to then really do some trials with people.
Yeah, so our initial phase is customer testing. We're trying to manufacture 50 soles with our bulk discounts and then test this with 3 facility locations that are connected to our university as well as clinics that we have personal connections with. Their data and their insight will allow us to adapt our product and our software features based on what the market wants, and allows us to expand with foundational credibility to all of the other B2B that we're going to move towards.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that concludes our presentations, both student and alumni track. Thank you all so much. Next, judges, you guys have the hard work. So I'm going to ask you to leave the stage. You're going to go back to the green room, go over your notes, discuss, and you guys have $62,500 to dole out. So you've got some big decisions to make. Okay, while judges do that, folks, I do want to tell you we're going to be doing a fireside chat talking about venture capital and AI. That's going to start here in about 30 seconds. This is also your opportunity to vote as the audience. We're going to be pulling up a QR code here very soon. You're going to scan that, and you are going to get to vote and award one of these concepts that you believe in. Are we able to pull that up now, or is that after our fireside? Stand by. While we're working on that, I do want to introduce our next guest. And we're talking about AI. Has anybody heard about that in the last year? Yeah, a little bit, right? And also venture capital. Again, that idea of when you're going to get those investments, how do you tell that story? How do you partner with the right people? and how do you get them on that hook? So I want to introduce Dan Sinawat, the CEO and founder of VC Arena and AI Connects. Dan, come on out. And as we're talking, we'll work on getting that QR code up for you guys. It's a really awesome opportunity for you to vote and award some money. Dan, please take a seat. Thank you for joining me.
No, it's my pleasure here.
So one of the things I've been asking all of our judges and individuals that we're learning from this evening is, because this is a pitch competition where people are pitching their ideas, I'm asking our guests to pitch themselves to the audience. So in 30 seconds, can you tell us who you are and what you bring to the world?
Yeah, my name is Dan Sinawat. I'm a founder of AI Connects, and we're a global AI consulting firm. I'm a founder myself, but then, turned venture capital now. I run a company called VC Arena. I'm a CEO of that, backed by a $3 billion VC firm out of New York called Legendary Ventures. And that's what I do. I go around the world taking selfies with people.
Taking selfies? Doesn't sound like a bad job. Okay, so Dan, I feel like in the last year there's been a tipping point, at least just with the public, for base knowledge or awareness when it comes to AI. When did you really start diving into it, and what did that process look like?
Yeah, so I actually used to work at NTT Data, which is a competitor with the company Fujitsu. So, we've been around doing AI stuff for a long time before people start calling it AI, right? Like over decades ago, we worked with like chatbot, which is, virtual agent you use in website, right? It's not as fancy as today, but it's been around. But it's more of a deterministic AI. Today, AI is a probabilistic, which is large language model, like LLM, like ChatGPT that you see, right? It gets a little bit more advanced. So, AI been around, but it's more approachable now, I would say.
What do you think happened in the last year that's changed the public's attitude towards AI, whether it's a general understanding from the public or, I work with multiple companies in a consulting capacity, and I'm seeing AI integrated in so many different ways. I feel like in the last year, there's been a threshold's been hit. What do you think happened, or do you agree with that assessment?
Well, I think what happened is the release of ChatGPT really make it more approachable to everyone. Now it's actually practical to use AI for your daily task and reducing time on many different things. But the real use case of AI is actually deeper than that. People don't realize, right now it's fine, it's sexy to talk about AI. We think of it as like a technology, right? When I talk to my customer, I consult with big corporate, I tell them AI is 95% business, 5% technical, right? If you don't look at your business first, you're gonna fail, because you need to look at what the outcome you want. What's the business objective you have in your company? You wanna grow your company, you wanna, increase your EBITDA. What's exactly you wanna do in your company? Without that, AI means nothing.
So when you work with clients, you get them to pinpoint what their pain point is, what they want to change, what they want to improve. And then does your team find existing AI, or do they find a way to utilize it to approach that? What does that conversation look like?
So what's going to happen is that you're going to see more and more of this agentic AI, right? Or like a bunch of AI agents do multiple tasks for you. It's interesting time because there's no one AI solution that would solve everything, right? We start calling these AI a task agent, right? So if someone come up to you and try to sell you some AI solution, it's only going to do one task. At the end, you're going to have to combine a whole bunch of them to make it work for your company, right? So that's the approach that we take, is understand the business. Then how do we deliver that business result, and how do we create this army of AI agents? And that's exactly our job in the future is going to be an HR hiring an AI agent, right? Can you hire enough AI agents to support your business? Right? There will be one or two people, billion-dollar IPO company coming out of this in this era pretty soon. So.
Dan, I've been honored and privileged to be a part of this event for the last 4 years. And I would say in the last 2 years, really, in almost every pitch, we've heard the concept of AI being utilized in some way. I think when it comes to pitching, now I'm going to ask you to put your venture capitalist cap on, just saying AI can almost mean nothing because we hear it so much. And I think you started to get to this. What is your advice when you're pitching your solution, your business to the public, and you say we use AI? What's your advice for them to be specific and really get that investor to understand what AI means in this circumstance?
Maybe not talking about AI at all, just talking about your business, right? At the end of the day, you build your startup to, solve some problem or to actually, grow the business or, sell a product or something, right? How are you going to sell that is probably more important than, what's that AI feature is going to do, right? I don't think end customer is going to care at the end, right? They want to see the result. Am I going to get a better performance? Am I going to heal my cancer quicker? What's the end result for them? And then how you get there, or like what's the rate of return, or like your, how much money am I going to make back at the end is in the investor mind, right? I don't know people actually looking at it that way when they pitch to the investor, right? It has to be clear, like how much are you going to make them rich?
Yes. What is it going to do for them?
Yeah. And then I'm putting on this investor hat
yes.
right now, right? Like, from a founder standpoint, you're on the opposite end. Founder are getting, sometimes you get too passionate about your product. You become an artist, right? You want to give up some of that artistic mindset and put on your business hat, right? You got to have, at the end, it's a business thing, right? Building your startup is pure business. You have to stop building your product at some point and go out and sell it, right?
So you just said what being an investor has taught you about being a founder. Don't be too precious about it. Don't look at it like the business. Yes, be passionate, but listen. What has being a founder taught you about being an investor? How does that give you a unique insight when you're choosing what businesses to partner with?
Yeah, well, my partner, who actually a co-founder and a GP of this legendary venture, which is a $3 billion fund out of New York, he said the best founder is someone who raised $0, right? Who's that good? Who can build the business, right? That's what the people that we are looking for. If you're that good, we want to, fuel your growth even more, right? I don't want people to come and begging money to help build a product, right? And that's something that I think is also, like you see a lot of social media. People are like, oh man, these startup companies are raising 20 million, 100 million, and all that. But in reality, it's really it's difficult. Like you really have to, And also another thing is, Silicon Valley startup and the rest of the world are a little bit different too, right? Like I love being here. My partner, even though he's from New York, both of us, that's why we created this VC arena to fund more early stage, because in Midwest, Texas and Midwest, right? Because we think people here are more honest. We can build products, right? People in Silicon Valley, they're good at pitching. Kids that are like 20 years old can pitch the hell out of it and get 20 million with no product to prove. Today, I saw so many great products, right? You guys built amazing product, but sometimes, we here in this Midwest, in Texas, we're not as good as the people in the Valley to game the system. What we are bad at is we don't know how to game the system. We don't know how to FOMO as good as they are, right? And that's why we are here. I try to bring more and more VC who are on the coast here so that you get more and more feedback, real feedback from those real investors, right? People who've been in, like my partner, he wrote the 8th check to Pinterest, right? And that's how their first fund became so successful. Now he put a lot of money, 90% of the fund, into Elon companies, because Elon not gonna fail, right? I mean, whatever he come out with, XAI, boring, whatever, he didn't even know what boring is. How much you want, 100 million? Okay, sure, we'll go find some money somewhere from some LP or investor. They're gonna give him money, right? But that's a big difference. Not everybody is Elon.
I was just about to ask you what is your differentiator as an investor, and then you answered it. You're looking for creators, companies in the middle of America, and you're looking to invest in them. How did you highlight that as your arena? You talked about this a little bit, but what was the process of that?
Well, like for us, we have a physical space in downtown Dallas where we actually try to make it the Silicon Valley here. We think the next Silicon Valley is here in Dallas, but we are not acting like one. That's the problem, right? There's not enough. Like if you look out, there's no VC around. That's a problem. There's a bunch of good startups, but there's no money here, right? That's a big problem. We try to draw more VC here. And we create this VC arena, and then as the name is a battleground, we're not gonna be there to mentor you, to teach you anything, right? You gotta be good enough to be there and battle it out. You're gonna meet my partner who run this $3 billion fund, and he's a real New Yorker, and he will give you right at it with no hold back. Peter, great founder, he created like a game controller that you control by feet. You met him, right? He give you exactly his thought. If he think you suck, he tell you exactly what it is. But you need that, right? Sometimes people lack that here, right? No one give you exact truth, right? Sometimes you better off work for a company, right? Not every startup is not for everybody, right? So.
Final question, and this is kind of a tough one. How do you balance the listening to that hard truth from somebody else and then believing in your own vision? Because sometimes that hard truth is true and sometimes it's not. So how do you personally navigate that with your own ideas and your creations?
To me, it's up to your guts at the end. Like if you have a passion, if you believe in yourself, if you're strong enough, you're gonna make it. People that go through that will make it. People that couldn't take it, then it's fine. It's not for you, right? When the startup world is tough. For a product company or any startup, it takes maybe almost 10 years to be successful. Can you endure that 10 difficult years, right? Or would you rather work and have a good, enjoyable life, right? Startup founder's life is not easy. That's what I wanted to say, right? So you gotta go through that quick and learn quick. And if you have it, then you should go on. If not, then there's nothing wrong with it.
Here's my real final question. A founder's life isn't easy. How do you enjoy it when it's not easy? You know it's hard. Can there still be enjoyment during that process?
Yeah, well, I love doing it. So I think it's up to your personality at the end, right? If you love doing what you do, then you're gonna continue without feeling bad about anything. I work until late at night I have a couple of different companies to run, right? And I wake up early in the morning and do it again. And I don't feel anything negative about any of it. I feel so motivated every single minute of it.
Dan, I want to thank you so much for your time. This has been fascinating. A round of applause, everyone, please. Thank you. Thank you. This is fascinating. Thank you. Okay, I think our judges have come to... No, you're fine. I think we've come to some decisions. Let me look at our run of show. Make sure. Perfect. Okay, remember that QR code that I promised you guys? It's up there right now. So I want you to scan it. I want you to think long and hard. What was the pitch that resonated with you? Also think about what was the pitch that, yes, it resonated, And it also has promise. It has a plan. And it has that team that has the grit that will go through the ups and the downs and make it happen. We just heard from Dan saying, hey, it's not easy. But if you embrace that and you lean into it and you know it, all of a sudden, life can be good while you're going through the challenges. So that's my unsolicited advice on the things to consider when you're choosing. So please scan that and make your selections. And I'm going to check and see how our judges are doing. So stand by. This is when the fun part happens. This is when we give out some money.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you've been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in.
Minutes to finish filling this out. We can see all the votes coming in. So about 2 more minutes.
Know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house. Baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we do. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. My music hits me so hard.
Check. Okay, so we've got kind of an exciting development. So a couple minutes ago, I got the signal that the judges are ready. They had made their decision. I went to go find out what that decision was. And no, the debate continues. Something happened. They are passionately debating this. So they're going back for another round. So they've got strong opinions on who deserves this money and why. And we're going to find out. This makes it so exciting for me. This is such an incredible panel of 5 individuals with all different perspectives. So to see how this pans out and to know that they're really giving it this much attention just kind of ups the stakes. What we're going to do while we wait for that is we're going to get our photos with our contestants. So what I'd love to do is bring out all of our student track presenters. Please come on out right now. Let's give them another round of applause before we actually hear all of our winners. Come on out, guys. Woo! Okay, everybody get together. We're going to get a group photo. Photographer down here. Get together. You will all be ruling the world very soon. Oh, we've got one more. We've got one more person coming, so you guys just gonna stand there and hug each other. How was it? Was it felt good? Awesome. Awesome. Okay. We've got, here we go. There he is. One day he's going to come out of his shell. Okay. I let him know. I said, this is actually very exciting because we got the green light that the decision had been made, and now the debate continues, which means the quality is incredible. So you guys should all really know that and own it. And also that these judges, they are bought in, and they really care about what the results are. So this is so cool to see.
Also, I need to get a mic because what we can do is give this specialty. Oh, maybe they got one on. Do you have it on?
Here we go.
Yes, we do. Why don't we go ahead and start? We have 2 specialty awards that we can start with before we get to the first, second, and third place winners. We have 2 very special awards, and I would like to bring up Dr. Pancrazio.
Good evening. So I'm the Vice President for Research and Innovation here at University of Texas at Dallas. And there's nothing more exciting to me than hearing all these great competitors and understanding that and hearing the conviction and promise that the future holds through our students, through our alumni, and what comes forward from the university. This particular award, I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to introduce our recipient, is for research. And it's, in many respects, what we do in the Office of Research is not just do research for the sake of research. What we want to see is research move from the bench towards the marketplace, to the public. And how we support innovation is a vehicle for doing so. So we're happy to present the award to Chris Erzenak. Chris is the founder, CEO, I guess, of Neural Entropy Diagnostics, useful in diagnosing brain in both neurodisease and mental health disorders. Very proud of Chris.
Congratulations. Incredible. Incredible. Congratulations. And for $2,500. Yeah, you want to hold on to that check. Do the second one?
Yes, we have a second special award. I'd like to bring up Professor Bob Wright.
Come with me. Here. Hi, this is my new best friend, Chris Anthony. But I'm here tonight to present a Social Entrepreneurship Award. Those of you who know me know that that's kind of what I live for. I've taught social entrepreneurship here for 15 years before there really was social entrepreneurship. And it's great to be teaching it now at a time when people understand what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know what it is, I'll tell you, the way I think about it is that it's businesses that determine their value by the good that they do and are sustainable. And the second piece of that is important as the first. This is, as I said, my new best friend. This is Chris Anthony, and Chris is the winner of the award tonight, but I want him to talk for a minute because we're in business and he's selling. So take it away.
Thank you. So Fight Hub, what we're doing is we're building an infrastructure for these nonprofits. So they're looking for funding, they're looking for coaching, they're looking for all these different things, compliance, et cetera, and we're building all of that in one location so that they don't have to fight anymore, and we can actually bring justice and transformation to the people who need it. And we're starting with the veterans because they're the ones that served us.
Amazing.
Thank you. Nicely done.
Congratulations. We're going to check on the judges. Okay, you guys, like I said, this is my 4th year doing this. This has never happened before, so you guys are giving them fits trying to figure out who to choose. Could we turn this microphone on, our mobile one? Let me know if we can. Okay, while we wait, have 5 minutes? Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, microphone's on. All right, so I get to interview you guys for the next 5 minutes. And you know what? It could be 30 minutes. I don't mean to scare you guys, but it seems like it's really taking them a long time to figure this out, which again, I absolutely love. Okay, I want to ask you, standing up here, what did it feel like presenting? Did it feel more comfortable than you expected? Were there nerves? How did you get over them?
I actually really like presenting. I'm a violinist, and in college I haven't really had a lot of opportunities to perform. I kind of dropped my instrument. So this is something that's really similar, a little familiar to me. Being on stage is honestly like home away from home. So I really enjoyed being on stage and presenting.
Okay, raise your hand over here if like you're just hating him right now because you were dying inside standing on this stage. Raise your hand. Okay, let's talk about your experience. And congratulations, by the way.
So I wouldn't say the stage is my home away from home, per se. I was definitely a little nervous and shaky getting up here, especially just speaking to a lot of people. But I'm used to like at least competing on a large stage. So I'm a fencer at Brown University. But that's when there's like an opponent and it's like you just zone in. But here, I just want to make sure to keep engaging everyone in the audience and the judges. So it's a little bit of a different feeling, but it still has that same competitive spirit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. What was a question that because it was posed to you, it may have stopped you in your tracks, but it also made you think of something that you hadn't considered before and something that you want to integrate into your next pitch or into your business plan? Was there a question that came up that fits that bill for you? No? Oh, here we go.
I don't want to take the floor too much, but yeah, we got asked about our how we're going to improve our product to improve its comfort, and you know we've been very comfortable with how our product is performing, and so it's really nice to get that push to just keep improving our product, and the drive to make sure that you know there's always something you can do to improve your product, and there's always a better place to take your product. And it's really nice to have judges that recognize that and don't allow you to be just comfortable with how your product is, but push you to innovate.
I love that. And that's one thing that we've heard from every single one of our judges and presenters is the importance of being comfortable, being uncomfortable, because that is the life of an entrepreneur. Okay, so do I have confirmation? Okay. You guys, the winners have been chosen. So judges, please come out here. Let's give them a round of applause. Again, audience, these judges have taken this job so seriously, making sure they debated every single point to really choose the different ideas they want to see brought to life. Okay, so we're going to start. Let me see real quick. Okay, we're going to start with third place, best pitch. And I am going to let, which one of our judges wants to announce? This is our specialty award. Okay, which judge wants to announce this one and tell us why it was chosen? Hold on. Perfect. Okay. This is for best presentation, so storytelling, really getting the audience to understand what the product is and what it brings to the world.
This is in addition to other awards they may win.
Is that foreshadowing?
I don't know if they are or not. I really don't know.
This pitch balanced both a personal story and inspiration with a rock-solid business plan, and I think that's where it hit. Every point, every slide had a singular purpose. It conveyed a very simple message, and visually it was very easy to take in alongside with the verbal commentary behind it.
Okay, and that will be?
The Klaus, come on over here. Woo! Come accept your money. Come on over. And where do we want to stand for photos? Over here? Congratulations. But stay up here. Again, I don't know anything, but you never know what's happening. Okay, so the next one, best use of technology.
I'm waiting for it.
Okay, we're waiting for it. Judges, I want to put you guys in the hot seat real quick. So we're getting the check made out. Who's got the? Okay, so you guys, you can hold on to that. You guys took your time debating this. What about this crop of young people made this challenging and had such a spirited debate?
I think the first thing we agreed as soon as we walked in the room, we all looked at each other and said, they were all great. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, we're impressed by your intellect. We're impressed by your entrepreneurial spirit. We're impressed by the science behind many of your ventures. And just, it's obvious how much you care, how dedicated you are, and how you're working with really smart, talented people to make your dream come true, and in many cases, making the world a better place, or sometimes just your back less sweaty. I mean, it's all a good thing to do. So that was the big thing that I would take away, is that we were just so impressed by how good all of them were.
So this is a good problem to have, right?
Great problem.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this next one is best use of technology. Doug, you wanted to present this one.
Yeah, so there were many unique uses of technology, but several really stood out. Most of them are very much in the early stage, so we had some robust debate. I think in the case of this, we all looked at it and said, this really has an opportunity to have an impact to make all of our lives better, and we do see an actionable plan moving forward. So based on that, we're awarding this to Oraloop. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh, let me get out of the way. Okay. All right, and I think with this now we're going to third place, correct? Okay, this is third place. This is $5,000. Do we know who wants to present this one? Fourth place?
Well, don't we have one more?
Is this fourth or third place?
What do we got here?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, let's talk more about the tell me more of the gossip. What was happening behind the scenes?
We were talking about the Mavericks.
Oh, yeah. That's why it took a while then. Okay, I get it.
No, I echo what's been said. I mean, it's a close competition. It's really, really hard. I actually gave up trying to do a ranking numerically because they're all so close, and I feel like I was doing 9s and 10s all the way down the page. And so, great job presenting. I think all of you had very powerful presentations. You should be proud of that. It's not easy, especially at this stage. I've seen grown-ups present worse than you guys have, of course, and I've seen worse pitches. So I think it says a lot about the commitment you guys made to do the best you can. And I think all of you have a very bright future in terms of your endeavor.
Jeff, let me ask you one more question. You're talking about how commitment when you were going through undergrad. Every time I host this event, when I drive home a little bit lighter, feeling a little lighter, a little more hopeful because of the young people that I see presenting. How do you feel after hearing these individuals and their commitment to going after their dreams and, I mean, truly making the world a better place?
Yeah, no, I think I just, I mentioned it. It's just like I would continue to pursue your dreams, and that's what makes this country great and the opportunities significant. And keep your passion. And, it's not going to be easy. It sounds great while you're at UTD, but when you get out in the real world and you're traveling and you're spending your own money and things can go bad at any point in time, and you get flanked by a problem or the market. Somebody catches up to what you're doing or something. So just always have awareness and just keep that commitment and hard work. And
Fantastic.
like I said, get up every morning scared out of your mind,
And are we still waiting for the?
So we don't have that printed check, but we're going to announce it because we have a fourth place. We didn't anticipate, but we decided there was one that was so outstanding they couldn't go without getting this place as well. And that is, you want to say it?
Oraloop, okay. I'm sorry. I thought.
So that was fourth.
Is that right? $3,000, is that right? $3,000, an additional prize to Oraloop. Good job.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, that's what was taking you guys so long. All right, now we're getting the check that's ready. Yeah.
$1 million.
Don't you say it out loud. All right, let's see this one. Okay.
This is the number 3. Okay. So the number 3 prize for the student track goes to Gather. Congratulations.
And tell us why as they walk up for the photos, tell us why you made this decision. What about this pitch really stood
I
out?
think for me, they're solving the scrolling and having kids do something better where they make real connections, real life connections was huge. They're solving a problem that's out there in every home, with every kid, at every campus. So they definitely deserve this.
Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Okay, now second place, correct? Yep. Okay. Who wants to introduce this one?
We talk so fast, I just want to make sure I have it. Okay.
Okay, before you say the name,
Sorry, guys.
before you say it, tell us why you chose them, and then let's reveal the name.
So I'll say one thing. I'm a guy that loves revenue, and this company has revenue, so that's always a good thing. As two young boys of mine, they're now 24 and 19, that grew up playing youth hockey, I've had a front row seat to the money being spent on youth sports and any competitive advantage to help a team or individuals up their game. Video analysis has been a part of it for so long, but these guys inspired me that they've got something special. I think they've got a lot of work to do to stand out and really make that play, but why not them? So we're excited to award this to Zephyr.
Woo! $8,000 to Zephyr. Incredible. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, so we're going to grab first place. Who gets the honors of presenting this one? Okay, fantastic. And we know which one it is?
I want to see the name.
Just to confirm, I totally get it.
Number 1, right? Yeah. But I don't know the whole name. First place student. Can I read it? Okay. I just want to make sure I say this right. So the number 1 award for the student track goes to very deserving 2 young women that came on stage with the courage. It's Bio Delibra. Okay, congratulations.
Woo!
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And as they pose for photo, will you tell us, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things that speak to this idea, but why was this number 1?
I think I don't even know where to begin. I can just think of a life of a cancer patient who's going through chemo week after week, month after month, and going through such painful, and God forbid it doesn't happen to anyone, but if there is a solution out there which these girls have probably cracked, and if it gets implemented, I can only imagine the smiles, the families, it'll bring to the families, to the patients, and make this the most difficult phase of your life a little more tolerable. So congratulations. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Okay, and that's it for our student track. Now we're moving on to alumni. Second place alumni.
And the second place for alumni is Power Percept.
Power Percept. All right, as we pose for photos, talk to us about what it was about this concept that appealed to you all.
So, shoes and balance and health, I think, are a very broad market. I think we got great answers, a great presentation, and we have high expectations and aspirations for this team.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Congratulations, guys. Congrats. Okay, now we're down to first place for the alumni track.
Yeah. So the winner of the alumni track, wait, you gotta hang on. I know you're the last one on stage. You've kind of figured it out, but it's Vaucluse? Am I saying that right? Vaucluse.
Woo!
Thank you.
So we've spoken about this one, but I want to hear it again, the idea.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why we obviously voted in first place was, you know, he seems very personal and very passionate about what he's doing. He's built a product. He's in market. He seems to have a very reasonable business strategy. It's defensible. He's got a patent pending, and so is patent. Okay, I correct myself. It is patent. Congratulations. And so we liked it. We liked the opportunity for growth, you know, the different models down the road and the different sizes that can be made for the different brands of backpacks. And so I think it's a pretty exciting idea. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. And then our final award, this is our audience choice. So you guys voted. You are part of the judges team right now. We're going to see what the people said. And it's going to Zephyr, $2,500. Zephyr, come on out here. Audience choice. Say thank you to the people. Thank you so much. We'll get that photo. Okay, I want to take a moment, guys, to say thank you to each one of our judges for your time, your wisdom, sharing your experiences, and investing in every single person in this room. I know I'm walking away with so much wisdom and insights. And also for all of the wisdom that you've given these students. I'm excited to see where they take it and what happens next. Carol, is there anything that you want to add?
The only thing I want to add, let's see if we've got the speaker working. Thank you again to all of our judges. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you to all of the incredible individuals in our student and alumni track who presented today. They were outstanding. I think it was one of the best we've ever had. They worked really hard for it. Thank you to all of you for being here. Thanks to our team, and thanks to all the mentors who helped make this successful. Now for you, we have a reception. So right outside here, we've got food and drink. Please join us, schmooze, meet some of these incredible people, and thank you for being here. And one more round of applause for the incredible people who made this happen.
So nice to meet you. Thank you. You're incredible. And your hair is amazing. Great job.
And they stay there. And they stay there.
Only a free one sent to us.
And they stay there.
Sure.
Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air. Make them stay there.
Ludacris going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere, but they saying Luda's back.